Hi all and welcome back to the channel, and I hope you're all doing okay. Well, I've got a few things I want to bring you this evening. Just a few talking points within Formula 1 while we've got a 3-week break until the United States Grand Prix in Austin. I suppose the biggest news at the moment is all about Daniel Ricciardo. I'm going to come on to that a little bit later, nothing too in-depth because it's already been said, but first of all I want to start off with McLaren. And McLaren's team principal Andrea Stella has confirmed the team will continue upgrading their car during the final 6 races of the season. This is despite the potential for any work to disrupt the performance of the MCL38, with Lando Norris chasing the Drivers' Championship. Andrea Stella said, "In fairness, that was one of my thoughts after the race in Singapore. We do have some stuff in the pipeline, and obviously when you have this kind of performance on track, you always may approach things from a cautious point of view in terms of development, but at the same time, we need to trust the process. We need to trust the way we've been working so far. I've said already that we have taken our time to make sure that once we deliver trackside, we have done the due diligence, so I don't think this will change our plans." And what I find interesting about that, and there was a comment I had on my last video which is absolutely right, and it was to do with Daniel Ricciardo taking the fastest lap point. Now, I think when Oscar Piastri won that race and they could have switched positions and given it to Lando, I really don't think McLaren thought they were in with a chance of potentially one of their drivers winning the Drivers' Championship. And I think now they've realised that there is a real shot at this. I think that call was made solely to do with the Constructors' Championship. That's what they were aiming for, but now I think they can see there is a driver potential there to win the Drivers' Championship. I think that could come back to bite them. So, I was going to mention that in my previous video, but I edited it out to save a little bit of time because I do tend to ramble on a little bit, as you can tell. So then I want to move on to Mercedes because their technical director James Allison has revealed that a substantial upgrade will be introduced at the United States Grand Prix. Mercedes are seemingly making a late push to challenge the likes of McLaren and Red Bull at the front of the grid. Allison said, "We will be trying to figure out how to mitigate what ailed us this weekend in Singapore, how to figure out how to make the tyres run better on these overheating tracks. We'll also be doing quite a lot of work to bring our last upgrade of the season together. We've got quite a fairly substantial set of new clothes for the car coming for Austin that we hope will give us a decent weekend there." I think they're a little bit far behind to challenge Red Bull and McLaren at the moment, but hey, it's worth a try, isn't it? Then I want to come on to Daniel Ricciardo because his replacement Liam Lawson has admitted he knew he was in line to take over from Ricciardo 2 weeks ago. Lawson told News Talk ZB, "Obviously, I knew about it for the last sort of 2 weeks, but until it's out there to the world, it obviously doesn't really feel set, and it's not like I could tell anybody. Singapore was definitely not an enjoyable weekend for me, just because obviously we all knew what was coming, and Daniel has always been very good to me in a lot of ways." And the way he's put that, I'm kind of hoping that Daniel did know way before then. It sort of sounds like Liam Lawson knew about it and Daniel didn't, but I can't imagine that's the case. Then I want to move on to Red Bull's Helmut Marko because he believes Daniel Ricciardo had lost the killer instinct ahead of VCARB axing Ricciardo. Explaining Ricciardo's downfall, Marko told Motorsport Total, "I don't know what exactly happened because if we knew, we would have helped him. But the speed and above all is late braking and then he goes left or right. In these last few years he tried, but it was no longer there. The killer instinct was gone." And it's kind of sad to put it like that, because Daniel Ricciardo did have that killer instinct and he was great under braking and overtaking and so on like that. But was his downfall from the moment he left Red Bull? Because he went on to Renault, now Alpine. He didn't do too bad there for, a sort of newish team, but then on to McLaren where he just couldn't make everything sort of gel and bring it all together, then back to the Red Bull family where nothing really improved. I mean, something changed within him, didn't it? And only Ricciardo knows, but it is sad to see him go. It really is. But whether he'll be on the grid next year or not, I really don't know. But of course, I'd love your thoughts on any of these things I've covered tonight. And the only other thing, the final thing I want to mention, and that is what's next for Alpine after Renault officially announced the end of their F1 Works engine program. Now for me, I can only see two potential engine suppliers or power unit suppliers, and that's Mercedes and Ferrari. Whether Ferrari would be keen to do a deal with Renault Alpine, I'm not so sure. So the chances are it's probably going to be Mercedes, because I think Red Bull have pretty much got Honda tied down until their engine deal expires, and Honda obviously move on to Aston Martin in 2026. So that'll be another interesting one, won't it? Because if Alpine get the car right and they sort out their aerodynamics, you could see another team with a Mercedes engine beating Mercedes. But anyway, that's all I've got for you this evening. I really and truly do appreciate all your comments, your likes and your shares. It really does mean a lot to me, so thank you so much indeed for that. And of course, if you do like what I do, please consider pressing the like button, also press the subscribe button, and also press the notification bell so you get those all important future warnings of my uploads. And as always, until the next time, take care.